Welcome to today's makeup tutorial. I was requested to do this makeup tutorial from a subscriber named Preyu. Preyu, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. Thank you for requesting this video. So today I'm going to focus on doing the makeup that I wore in my February favorites video that was recently posted this week. So let's get started. I have primed my face. I've moisturized and primed my face with Bare Minerals Prime Time. I really like this primer a lot. It's that slippy, silicone-y type primer that I love. And yeah, so I've primed my face with that. So now I'm going to do my base, and I'm using Rimmel's Match Perfection Light Perfecting Radiant Sunscreen Foundation in the color 102 Light Nude. This is my color, and I love it. So I'll go ahead and do that now. I'm also going to use my e.l.f. foundation brush and my Sonia Kashuk buffing brush. I'm doing this makeup tutorial now because I'm leaving again tomorrow on a 4-day trip, so I wanted to get this done for you guys because it probably wouldn't have been done until next week sometime. So I wanted to do it for you today.
And I apologize for this headband that I'm wearing. I just like to wear it when I'm doing my makeup because it keeps everything out of my face. So if you've seen it before, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so now I'm just going to buff that in.
Hi. Okay, so now I have done my base. I have to do my concealer now. I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal. I love this concealer. It's just amazing. And I'm going to blend that in with my e.l.f. concealer brush. I love this brush for blending concealer. It's amazing. And the concealer that I used for my face is different. It's actually a CoverGirl stick that I have mashed and put into this little container. I just find that it's easier to do that rather than using a stick concealer. Those tend to be a little bit, those tend to actually like dry out a little bit, so it's nice to have it in here. And this is, I love this concealer. I'm not sure exactly what the name of it is, but it was one of those like CoverGirl concealer stick. Alright, now I'm going to set my under eye area with my Wet n Wild Color Icon highlighter. It's such a subtle highlight that it's a really great eye brightener and concealer setter. I'm also going to powder my face a little bit using my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. The brush I'm using is the e.l.f. Complexion brush. I love setting my foundation with the Bare Mineral Veil because it's such a light application of powder. I don't like to be too powdered. I feel that it's just very cakey looking when there's too much powder, so this is perfect. Yeah, so there's that. Now I'm going to prime my eyes with my e.l.f. primer. Are we sensing a theme here? Yes, I love e.l.f. I think that there are some great products, and I'm almost...
From the ashes, we will rise.
This is such a great primer. It just really kind of is a great texture, and it works in the same way that a concealer would work on your eyes, which is why I really like it, because in the past I've really liked to use concealers as an eye primer. I think that they work great if you have the right kind of concealer. Okay, so for the eye look, I'll be using my Too Faced Chocolate Bar and Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palettes. So I'm going to actually set the eye primer that I just put on with my Color Icon Reserve Your Cabana highlighter. I just really like this as a under eye powder and a makeup setter because it's such a silky powder, which is, it's Wet n Wild, and it just is really, I don't know, it's great. So by adding some powder to your primer, it's just going to give you a really nice smooth canvas for your crease work and for transitioning and all of that stuff. Oh phone, oh phone, oh phone. Okay, so that's been set. So I'm going to start out with Salted Caramel from the Chocolate Bar palette, which is this really pretty color right here. Actually, no, I'm going to start with the Peanut Butter from the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette, which is this color right there. It's this kind of terracotta peachy color that I really, really love. And we are going to use my favorite brush of all time, my Sonia Kashuk number 109 brush. I just love it. So I'm taking a little bit and then tapping my brush and sweeping it into the crease. It doesn't have to be too neat, this first process, this first little step. The look I did in my February favorites video, I did without mascara and tight lining. I used instead, which from day to day I've been not wearing mascara and eyeliner. It's just, if you do your eye makeup well, it can be a really cool look. But for the February favorites video, I used my Jordana Easy Liner for eyes in the color Bliss because I was wearing red lips in that video, so it's a really nice contrast, and I put this in my waterline and I'll be showing you that next. But for now, I'm going to also throw in the Salted Caramel from the Chocolate Bar palette, which is right here. And it's a little bit lighter in shade, but I also kind of like to sweep it over and blend it into the rest of my eye. So this is great for blending as well. So what I'm doing is I'm placing it into the crease and also blending it down into the eyelid. And now I'm going to use the Cocoa Chili in the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette, which is this color right here. And I'm sweeping it over the entire eye, but just underneath. Okay, so in the amount of time that my battery died and the sun changing, it's a little bit darker in here, so I'm not really sure what it looks like, but I was blending Cocoa Chili over both eyes, but just underneath the crease area where the orangey colors are, because that's going to be kind of like a gradient blend and smoke. So, okay, Cocoa Chili is on, and now to kind of blend everything out, so there are no harsh edges, I'm taking Butter Pecan right here, and this is in the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. I'm taking Butter Pecan, and I'm just going over the top crease line area up into the brow bone on both eyes. And lightly sweeping it over the entire eye. So now I am going to line my eye using the Sonia Kashuk brush, and it's so soft. I love this. It's an angle, just your standard angled brush, but it's so soft. So I'm going to take Cocoa Chili again, which is in the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar, and it's here. I'm going to sweep that underneath. And this brush is soft enough to where you can smudge out your line to make it a little bit more smoky. And I'm just going to sweep it along the lash line as well. Turn the camera a little bit this way. There we go. So this is like a nice daytime look, and lately I haven't been wearing the mascara and the eyeliner because I feel like sometimes that can be a little bit too heavy for daytime, and I think that if you do a subtle like brownie toned eye look like this, it's natural enough to where you can get away without wearing the mascara and it can be a cool look. So I'm actually just gonna take, I'm gonna take the same angled brush and just kind of buff it out a little bit more underneath the eye. And while I have it, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows using my phone, using my Tweezerman brow powder, and it looks like this. I'm not sure if you can still find these, but this has lasted me seriously for years. Years, like 2 years I've used this. So I'm just going to do my brows really quick. There we go. So I've heard that you can contour your face with the Color Icon bronzer in Ticket to Brazil. So I'm going to try that today to see how it looks. From the naked eye, it appears to be a little shiny, like with a sheen to it, but it doesn't seem glittery. So when I swatch it, the texture of it is just beautiful. You could even use this as an eyeshadow color. And it's so soft, like, oh my gosh, I just love it. So we're gonna try to contour with this to see how it looks. And I'm using my e.l.f. angled blush brush for my contour. And the Ticket to Brazil. It's just a really natural contour. It's nothing too dramatic. It has kind of a light perfumey scent, but it's not bad. I don't know how this is looking on camera, but from what I can tell, it's just a really light contour. I probably wouldn't use this too much for contouring just because it's just a little too light, but for daytime I think it's great. So I'm gonna do my bronzing powder from my e.l.f. St. Lucia palette. I love this as a contour color. It looks like there's glitter in it, but it doesn't go on your face glittery. Yeah, see, it's a little darker as a contour. This is definitely a better contour, but I like the other one just for warming up your face and even for a nice highlight because it has some sheen to it. I think it's really beautiful. And those Wet n Wild color icons, when they're buy one, get one half off, it makes the second one that you get like $1.50. That's like crazy cheap to me. Crazy cheap for such good quality. Like, I think they're great quality powders. I'm using a different brush now for bronzing. I'm using the e.l.f. complexion brush that I love. It's so soft. And I'm just going to use this to kind of buff in the contour. Go down the neck a little bit. And then for blush, I'm going to use one of my favorite blushes, and it's the e.l.f. Blush and Glow. I love this color. It's such a buttery blush and it's only $2. Like, that is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's see. And for this, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier brush, and I think it's just her blush brush. But I really like this because it kind of just lays the product down really nice on the cheek area. It's like instant glow. But not too like, it's not too much. It's like perfect. I even like to take blush like in the 3 that they talk about. I do that with my blush too. Kind of just gives your face some color when you do that. And a little down the nose doesn't hurt. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and highlight with the color icon, the Cupid's bow. This is my e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I'm just going to gently sweep it across the chin, highlight the cheekbone area, go a little down the nose, and while I'm at it, I'm going to shape my nose just a teeny tiny smidgen of a bit. Did that make any sense? And I'm going to use, I like to use my blending brush for that. This one here, it's by xoxo. It's a nice blending brush, and I just take a little powder, brush it off, and I just go like so, along the nose, down the side just a little, down the nose just a smidge. It gives your nose a nice little sun-kissed look in photos. Da-da-da, there we go, and one last thing, and that is the waterline, and I'm using the Jordana color in Bliss. And I love retractable liners because you don't have to sharpen them. It's just so much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and line. And then right after this, I have my lips, and I think that that should be it for the look. But if you don't have this turquoise color, I think a nice color for every day that I use almost every day is the Rimmel Scandal Eye in Nude. It's the best waterlining color, I think, for a natural look. And this is the blue underneath. So now I'm going to line my lips with the NYX lip liner in Hot Red. It looks like this.
I can't see what I'm doing because my mirror is so far away. I need to fix this whole setup. So I promise when I get back in town that hopefully my setup can be a little bit better. Alright. And while I'm doing this, don't forget to enter my e.l.f. contest and you can win, I think it's a 7-piece eyeshadow set. And you can check that out in my favorite, you can check that video out on how to enter underneath of my February favorites video. When I'm doing red lips, I like to line and go over them with red because it helps the color to stay. And I'm using a Tom Ford color that's kind of like a raspberry color. And I put it in this little eyeshadow container. I put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 different lip colors in here. And this is great because it's like credit card.
Hi guys, I'm so sorry my camera died again. It's having some very technical difficulties today. But this is the finished look. I went ahead and added the Tom Ford red lipstick. And I set my face with the makeup setting spray by e.l.f., the Mist and Set. I'm not sure if that picked up in the previous footage, so I went ahead and mentioned that. But yes, this is the finished look. I hope you like it.
So without any further, so let's get started. So the look I did in my February favorites video incorporated. So the look I did in my February favorites video doesn't seem glittery, but where did that brush go? Help! I need help! I think a nice look. Oh gosh, I got it all over. It's getting darker in here. I can't see what I am doing. Can I talk today? Jeez Louise. It's one of those face today.